Hi, it's Thomas Gronnemark, the throwing coach. In this video, I'm going to tell you about what is the back three throw-in problem and how you can fix it. My name is Thomas Gronnemark and I've been a professional throwing coach since 2004 and been part of 15 titles in international football. I'm traveling all around the world with my throwing coaching, so you're absolutely welcome to invite me to your club. I also have an online course called Gronnemark's Throw-in Mastery. You can find that on the link down in the description. But again, what is the back three throw-in problem? So first of all, a lot of teams are playing with three in the back. It could be 3-5-2, 3-4-3, and of course other formations too. The challenge here is that if you don't use your back three here when you have a throw-in, then you have a challenge. Sometimes the opponents are only marking your back three with a shadow marking, and then you can say that you are +2 here. So if you don't use that, you're in a challenge, because if you're +2 here, you'll have a less chance here to keep the possession. So for example, it could look like this, that we have a 3 versus 2 sandwich here. We're having a marking on the thrower. We have a double on the niner here. So again, this will be really hard, or at least harder, to keep possession. So you can actually solve this in different ways. So the first way you can solve this is, instead of having your wing back to take the throw-ins in your defending half, you can instead say that it's the outer central defender. And then, for example, you could put the wing back up here, and then you will have an extra midfielder. So already now the numbers are better. So this will either force the opponents either to take a player from in here, then we have a better situation here, or it could also mean that they have to take the player who marked the thrower here. So this is like the first solution, and I know many teams, I also coach some teams who take the outer central defender to make the throw-ins in the defending half. But there are also other solutions too. So if you're 3 in the back, you'll often have a lot of space here. So the second solution is that you use the mini switch, and I've been covering the mini switch in another video, so you're absolutely welcome to see that. But the mini switch is that you're using of course, if you only play with 4 in the back, the second central defender, but here with 3 in the back, it could be the middle central defender or the outer central defender. And can you get the ball to this player here in the middle, or even here? It can make you have a lot of space over here, and then you can switch the play. The opposition will have a very hard time to come all the way over here. So you can use that to your advantage too. So remember to use the mini switch. The third option could be that one of your central defenders are going up. So let's say again, this opponent is marking the thrower. Maybe we have some rotations here, and suddenly we have some space. So instead of staying here, this central defender could go up in a free space. And of course, if we are standing still, we have a great overview. But as soon as they start to move, suddenly there'll be spaces coming up here that you can use. So you can either, do this spontaneously, but you can also say that, okay, we just put our central defender up here from the start, and then it's a little bit like a, false midfielder here. So you can choose that too. And then another thing you can do, it's not the same as a mini switch, but it's still a little bit in the same family. So I have a thing called central defender shuffle, and I will cover that more deeply in other videos. So, but a central defender shuffle could be that this central defender, he's going for the ball, or she's going for the ball. If this shadow marker doesn't follow, you can pass here, you can play in the angles, maybe this player could mini switch. But if this shadow marker follows, then the other central defender can just fall in behind, and maybe a direct throw, it could be that. So this is the CD shuffle or central defender shuffle here, so you can use that too. So there's a lot of ways you can use this. a lot of people say to me, hey, what if, okay, you start to use the central defender shuffle, or you start to use the mini switch a lot here because you play with 3 in the back, and let's say they go up with 2, so maybe it could be a man marking here and then an extra shadow marker or so. And yes, of course, you can still use the mini switch. You just have to do a little bit of the movements first, but you can also use the central defender shuffle, maybe a run here. He goes here, you have space here, we play it in here. So you can still use this. So just because they put up like 2 shadow markers, 2 central or man markers, it doesn't mean that you can't use it. And then maybe, I'm not even sure I've seen this before, but you can also say that sorry, are you moving one more up? Maybe just with a slight shadow marking here. Then yes, maybe it's really hard to use back 3 now, but now the numbers change. So suddenly we have a 2 against 2 here. Down the line, that's really good numbers. We have a 2 against 2 here in the midfield. That's good numbers too. So again, throw-ins, this is about mathematics. So there are always strong and weaknesses by the attacking team, by the defending team. As an attacking team with a back 3, you just have to find great solutions for the back 3, and if they cover it, we can use other solutions there. But how can you train it? A lot of coaches, they're just saying, okay, we are going to the tactics board, explain the players, and that's it. But it's really important that you're training in 3 stages with around this too. So if you want to do different movements, if you want to throw precise, you have to do the throw-in basics. I do that a lot with my players. Use this back 3 mini switch, central defender shuffle, and the other movements in small-sided games. And then you can put on the zonal games, the bigger zonal games. And it's really important that your players learn throwing intelligence so they can take their own decisions. It's not enough just to have a few routines in each zone, because then often the opponents will mark that. But that was it from me about how to fix the back 3 throw-in problem. Do you have any questions for me? Then please send me a message or leave a comment here. And remember, you can see my online course here down in the description about the long, fast and clever throw-in. And are you a club, no matter what level, you're welcome to invite me. I'm going to Sweden next week, and just recently I've been in Germany to coach, in Japan and in Spain. But again, remember to subscribe to my channel. I wish you the very best, not only with your throw-ins, but also with your upcoming game. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.